Welcome to Book Talk. Today we're discussing Origin by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Origin, if you do not know, is the fourth book in the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The first book is Obsidian. Maybe you've heard of it. I read the first three books last year. I loved the first book. The second book was fun. The third book I was reading like one page a night, so it was ruining it. And I took a break before reading the fourth book. I am so happy I took that break because I loved this book. It was so much fun. It was non-stop action. Damon and Katie against the world! And it was so good. Entangled Teen, who's actually sponsoring this video, thank you, just sent me the fifth and final book in the series. Now I'm so excited to read it. Opposition. It's hardcover, guys. What even? If you have not read any books in this series yet, you're gonna want to leave now because I'm gonna spoil you. I'm not gonna spoil Origin yet. I'm gonna talk a little bit more before I spoil Origin. But I'm gonna spoil Obsidian. So, if you haven't heard Obsidian, you should watch my book talk about it to see more. And click right here, right now, to go see that. Okay, so people who read up to the third book and not Origin, you can stay for a few more seconds. If you forget where we left off, Katie was in Mount Weather. They were going to rescue Beth, and Katie got trapped in Mount Weather. Daedalus got her. This is the best book in the series so far. I love the first book, don't get me wrong. But this one was like, whoa, ha, whoa, ha, whoa! It was so good. It was so good. I think I'd give it a 95% on my scale. It was awesome and funny and sassy and just the best. I was really impressed with this one. That's it for the non-spoiler section for Origin. If you haven't read Origin yet, go read it, come back, let's discuss. Bye, non-spoilers! Okay. Picturing Damon as Tyler Hoechlin, Derek from Teen Wolf. It's just been so much fun. I feel like I've been hanging out with him all day. It's so much more fun than not actually having a face, because when he spits out all the fantastic sassy dialogue that Jen gives him, Jennifer L. Armentrout, I can picture it so beautifully. Like Tyler Hoechlin has to play him if there's a movie. I love how Daedalus is in Area 51. Legit, Area 51 is where Katie is. And she's like, what about my mom? What about my home? What about my blog? I guess that's the least of my worries. But really, at the end of the book when they get new identities, they're names from the Sweet Evil trilogy. I unfortunately have not read that series, so I was not able to appreciate the irony or the non-irony of the names, but I still really appreciated the fact that it was from a YA novel. So the first big thing that happens is Blake dies. I can't say I'm sorry that he died. Blake had it coming. He had it coming all along. He went in there to goad Katie to fight him. I don't know what he was expecting, but he underestimated this bitch. You won't like Katie when she's angry. And you know what? Daedalus knew that that was gonna happen. Blake obviously wasn't a big loss for them. They were like, oh, Katie, good job, you killed him. That was excellent. Luke, this Luke character who's been showing up in the previous books. And I was just like, what is with him? I never really understood. Was he a hybrid? Because we never talked to him about his backstory, but he was weird and weirdly powerful. And now it all makes so much sense. It's blowing my mind, this Origin thing. The Jurassic Park comparison with Daedalus and the Origins, and the Jurassic Park peeps and the dinosaurs was just so on point. That's exactly what I was thinking. And when they said it aloud in the book, I was like, why would you want a million Origin children just huddled in a basement 9 floors down? How can you even trick yourself into thinking that you can control those psychotic, evil horror movie children? That Micah kid was horrifying. I was convinced that Katie was gonna get pregnant. I still am not convinced that she's not pregnant. They used protection the first time, but in the morning, it didn't feel like they used protection. But I'm not sure now, because when we learned that Beth was sick, I was like, oh my god, Beth is pregnant. I don't know if we can handle 2 pregger women. Now it seems like at the end of this book, the Luxes are kind of being drawn to the other Luxes. It's like they've been brainwashed. I don't know if Damon's gonna be separated or zombie-like in the next book, but then maybe Katie's not pregnant. But I'm not pushing her off the table here. I think she's preggers, and I will see soon because I'm gonna pick this baby up. Beth is pregnant, and you know what? These children probably wouldn't be as psychotic if they were raised by normal parents. They're birthed in like a breeding factory and taken away from their parents and basically brainwashed from birth, but since they're weirdly smart, oh, it just creeps me out that they're like really intelligent. Okay, the reveal that Archer was in Origin. I was like, what the F? Hold up! He's been reading her mind the whole time, and then she realizes that he's been reading her mind, and he's like, ha, yeah, oops. It took Katie so long to realize that Archer was Luke's inside man, because even though I didn't know that Archer was an origin, I knew that he was Luke's inside man. He was so nice to her right off the bat. In the beginning, I actually had a theory that Damon's timeline was behind Katie's timeline that we were reading, and that Archer was actually Damon, you know, how he could take the form of other people and stuff, but it became obvious that that wasn't what was going on. I think Archer's gonna make a really great addition to their crew. I'm excited to have him along. I like the D Archer thing that's going on. I like it a lot. He's a good guy. I love that conversation he has with Katie about the Outback and the Olive Garden. They get married, and she doesn't want Archer to know. And she's like, I was singing, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me, the whole time they were talking, but somehow he picked it out of my brain, and he looked like he just found out that there's endless breadsticks at the Olive Garden. In the beginning, I was really mad that Dee wasn't coming with Damon to help get Katie back. And I know she would have been captured and all that crap, and it wouldn't have been good. But just the fact that she stayed there and didn't run off with Damon. I mean, she was her best friend! She just disappeared for 2 books. Katie apologized. Like, this isn't her fault. I know you're upset. I know your boyfriend died. I know it's hard, but, like, you're pushing Katie away so hard. But at the end, she redeemed herself. Katie and Damon's baby would be an all-powerful monster, but not if it was raised by Katie and Damon. It's all with the raising here. You're raising Voldemort children because you're raising them in a factory, okay? It's like a big orphanage where they have no parents. They just become mean, crazy villains. Every once in a while, you get your sane ones. You know, you get your Archers, your Lukes. Just the fact that Origins read minds blew my mind. That means Luke read minds the whole time they were interacting with Luke. I like Luke. I do like that kid. Okay, let's talk about the scene where Damon first heals some. Well, first he has to heal dying Kat. It sounds like Kat had her whole back split open, like her spine was cut in half. It was like Bella, pre-vampire Bella, when Edward thought he wasn't gonna save her. And obviously Damon heals her, but then he's brought in to heal his first regular person. And it literally, it feels like the beginning of Captain America. We're going to create a superhuman. Damon heals him, does his thing. This whole scene, like they come in with this serum. He like starts foaming at the mouth with blood, flops on the ground, gets up and runs at light speed into the wall. A+, Daedalus, good work. What is Luke gonna do with the LH11? Is he gonna perfect it because he's some sort of 15-year-old genius? Is there an illness that's occurring within the Origins and they need the LH11? I don't know. I can't even theorize because just there's so many possibilities because aliens. The moment where Katie does finally realize that Archer is Luke's inside man, Archer goes, Katie, we have a mutual friend. I'm literally just sitting here picturing Katie clicking on Archer's Facebook page. You have one mutual friend. Did the Origins escape when they let them out, or did they just escape in Daedalus? Or they're like children of the Antichrist running around in the desert right now? Is that a thing that's happening that we're gonna have to deal with in opposition? I love that Kat and Damon got married. I knew the second they walked into Vegas, it was like, they're getting married. They totes are getting married. And then Damon was like, oh, look at her finger, look at her finger. And I'm like, getting married. I loved how happy they were for like 5 seconds. It was nice. We knew it was gonna last 5 seconds because, I mean, it was just too good to be true. There's just like a mansion waiting for them in Las Vegas with lots of rooms for them to have sex in and be comfortable. It was too happy. Let's just jump to the Battle of Las Vegas. This was such a cool scene to read. It was so easy to visualize and it was just so awesome. Awesome in a kind of horrific way, but awesome. Oh my god, okay. That alien doll! I was so convinced. We just kept talking about it. It's like at all times, we knew where the alien doll was. It was popping out of her purse. She was hugging it. It was on the bed. It was everywhere, okay? The alien doll from the motel. They went to this motel. It was like right off the Area 51. And it was this alien doll, and I was convinced the doll had like a camera and a tracker in it. And that's how Daedalus was gonna find them. And then it was just a doll. It was just, I was so nervous about it. It was like, oh my god, be careful. Throw out the doll. Stop it with the doll. But no, anyone else think that? Maybe? No? Just, okay, bye. And now we're in a log cabin in Idaho. There's a lot of places that she could go with this last book. I'm not sure where they're gonna go. I'm not sure if Katie's gonna be pregnant, but I'm excited to read it. Share your opposition theories. I'm Christine. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! This is like the best book in the series so far. I love the first book, don't get me wrong, but this one was like, whoa, ha, whoa, ha, whoa, oh my god. I'm standing on a box that is just